And it's time for our business update, and Yuga Royer is here with me in the studio. Welcome, Yuga.
Hello, Shona.
You're starting with our top story this morning. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is here in Paris, and we're going to look at the economic relationship between the two countries.
Well, France is an important economic partner for Turkey. The bilateral trade volume amounted to over 14 billion euros in 2016. Hundreds of French companies operate in Turkey. And as Selina Sykes explains in this report, Ankara wants to expand cooperation in areas such as defence and energy.
A visit hoping to reinforce an already strong economic relationship. Turkey is France's fourth largest trade partner, excluding the EU and Switzerland. Trade between the two countries reached 14 billion euros in 2016. With an increase in Turkish exports to France, most notably textiles and household appliances, and a record 14.9% increase in transport equipment. France, too, benefits from exports to Turkey, with transport and aerospace sectors making up 1/3 of business.
The economic relationship, trade relationship with France, and we would like to increase that even further. And of course, other bilateral issues such as defense industry. We have energy policy issues in terms of the nuclear reactor plantation that we are building with Japan, but there's a French component to it also.
Turkey has ordered 4 nuclear reactors developed by French energy company Areva and Japanese car makers Mitsubishi in a deal worth more than 15 billion euros. France's pharmaceutical industry is also booming from Turkish trade. Paris was Ankara's 4th largest supplier in 2016. And France made 206 million euros in pharmaceutical sales to Turkey in 2017. An economic partnership President Erdogan hopes to bolster during his visit to Paris, as well as mend frosty relations with the rest of Europe.
Now let's check in on the global stock markets. Is the record-shattering trend continuing as we wrap up the first week of the new year?
Well, here in Europe, trading got off to mostly to a positive start, although a bit slower than the earlier in the week. London's FTSE, though slightly in the red, as you can see, with Paris's CAC 40 and Germany's DAX both in positive territory. That follows, of course, another record highs on Wall Street, where the Dow closed above the 25,000 mark for the first time. Now, most Asian shares also extended gains, with South Korea's Kospi rebounding from negative territory. Tokyo's Nikkei closed at a fresh 26-year high after rising more than 3% on Thursday. Now let's check out more business headlines for you at this hour. And Apple says all Mac computers, iPhones and iPads are affected by massive flaws in microchips. The 2 bugs, called Meltdown and Spectre, make computers vulnerable to hackers stealing memory stored in the CPU. Apple is set to release a patch for the Safari web browser on its products in the coming days to protect them against Spectre attacks. The company says that the latest OS updates already protect Mac and iOS devices against Meltdown. A historic factory making Coleman's mustard is going to close. Unilever says it's shutting down its site in Norwich in eastern England by the end of 2019. Coleman's has been based in Norwich since 1814. In a statement, Unilever said it would protect the historic link between the brand and Norwich by retaining part of the production and packing of mustard powder.
And finally, for you, Yuka, the first week of 2018 is drawing to a close, but business has just started at Japan's food market.
The Tsukiji market, that is. The annual New Year tuna fish auction was held there this Friday. The prices at this particular auction, to mark the start of the year, are way off the ordinary prices anyway, as buyers place huge bids, hoping that that would bring good luck and to generate publicity. The largest bluefin tuna this year, weighing 405 kilograms, fetched a whopping $320,000, although it's still much cheaper than last year's most expensive catch, and worth only a quarter of the highest bid in history reached back in 2013.
I must say, those Japanese people eating Japanese food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they are so lucky, in my opinion.
Expensive tuna for expensive sushi.
Thank you so much. Yuka Royer there with the business news. Now it's time to take a look at what's making headlines in